Hey everybody, what's going on? Rob Cesternino here with a little thing that I'm calling What to Expect from episode number 2 of Survivor. I've done a number of podcasts this week, but I thought that this would be something fun to do on Tuesdays, sort of a shorter podcast. I know everybody is very busy, but maybe just something that maybe if you sort of like forgot what was going on with Survivor from last week, just a quick primer to get you ready for episode number 2 coming up on Wednesday night. So let's do a little bit of a recap of where things stand. We'll take a look at the tribes, what I'm expecting from Wednesday night's episode, and a little bit of my amateur edit reading, which I don't tend to do a lot of on the podcast, but I thought this might be a fun format to give that a shot. Of course, if you are looking for the full everything we've got going on over on, I almost said full Monty, everything we have going on Rob Has a Podcast, you can always subscribe, robhasawebsite.com/subscribe, and get everything that we have going on, including a recap with JD from Survivor 41 coming up on Thursday. Okay, so where do things stand after last week's episode of Survivor? We had I thought, a really good premiere, really did a lot to set up everything that we have in the new cast. I really like all these people. I think most people do. Kind of light on strategy. We kind of only scratched the surface in a 2-hour episode. So I really do expect in a 90-minute episode to get more into everything that's going on. I had thought that maybe during the week that they would announce that 2 people were going to be going home. This is a 90-minute episode coming up on Wednesday, but no word about that. It'll be a big surprise for us at this point if we do get that. I feel like that kind of thing tends to get teased in the previews, if not the one that we get on Wednesday night, the one that comes out over the weekend in terms of what's going on with football. Mariah was the first player voted out of the tribe. Sad to see her go. Went back and listened to my exit interview with Mariah. She said that it was a big shock to her. She was very complimentary about Ellie, what a player she has been so far in terms of how hard she's playing. I do expect to see Ellie maintain her hold over on the Adabaka Tribe. One of the things that I'm really looking towards on Wednesday night that I think we will see is we did not get to see any advantages found. That's the 3rd season in a row here in the new era where we have not seen any advantages found in the first episode. Are they in play the first 3 days of the game? I think that is up for debate. We did see advantages found in the 2nd episode in season 41 and season 42. I do expect that to happen in episode number 2 coming up in the Wednesday night. And I think also that these will be the beware advantages. Jeff has said beware advantages are coming back. So I do expect at least one of the advantages to be found. They've also said that the phrases are not going to be back. So I think we'll also get a chance to see the new mechanic that is used for however somebody is going to lose a vote and what is going to be the task that they have to complete in order to get their vote back. So I think at least one person will happen. It will be interesting to see if we get a visit to the unyet named rock that we have from this week, the new Shipwheel Island. We'll see if that happens. I think we got that in season 41. In season 42, nobody went to go and try to get an advantage. So we'll see how that happens. Let's just check in on the 3 tribes. And if you're watching here on the video, I'm going to pull it up on the screen. We have the Vesti Tribe. That's Cody, Dwight, Jesse, Justine, Nneka, and Noel. They had a really strong showing in the first episode. Dwight did lose his vote. The preview is showing us some talk of the tribe seemingly getting frustrated with Cody, who's been a big personality. If I had to guess, I think this is a red herring. I think that the fact that they're showing people complaining about Cody, I think that's the old Survivor idea that if they're talking bad about somebody in the preview, it usually means that they're safe. I think that Cody is going to be fine. I actually don't think that they're going to go to tribal council. I can see people talking and having some frustration about him, but I'd be very surprised if Cody goes to tribal council. I really like the positioning that Jesse has. I feel like that he's in a really good middle position. I actually do think if this tribe went to a tribal council based on what we saw, I think that Dwight might be in the most danger, but I don't expect this to be the group that goes to tribal council this week. Coco is another tribe that we got to see some more strategy. There is a women's alliance going on. We saw Lindsay and James bonding. We saw Carla really working hard, working with a number of different players. In the preview, Carla is talking about people not knowing about how she has the women's alliance. I think that Carla is ultimately going to be the shot caller here in this group. If this group goes to tribal council, I think that this is actually the most interesting group to see what direction that they're going to go in. I would be concerned about Gio, but it seems like that he has a pretty good relationship with Carla. We saw Lindsay with a tight relationship to James. I think that Lindsay is also somebody that could potentially be in trouble. We didn't see Cassidy talking to anybody else except for Carla, but I really do feel like that Carla and Lindsay and Cassidy feel like that they have something. So I think it could be one of the guys. I am not sure at this point which one it might be. I think that's the toughest tribe to get a read on of who's in trouble. Now, we have Baka Tribe. Okay. We saw them vote out Mariah in the first episode. And of course, we're very sad to see Mariah go. This was the Kumbaya tribe, the tribe that looked like that they were going to be working together and seemingly not have that much infighting. And that all goes out the window once you lose the challenge. I thought it was so interesting where Gabler tried to throw himself on the sword and Ellie just shot it down immediately, where he said, okay, well, I got to play my shot in the dark. I don't deserve it. And Ellie's like, okay, let's talk about it. Hold on. Let's hear all the ideas. And I think that Ellie worked really hard to protect Gabler. I interviewed Zach Wertenberger this week on the podcast. I was kind of unsure about where I was leaning towards. He made a good point. He thought that Sammy would be in the most trouble in this group. Thinking about it more, I have to agree with that. I think that this could be a situation where, kind of like Yasa back in Survivor 41, where that they voted out Abraham first, and then there was going to be a question about who would be the next person to go out of the tribe. And there was a decision between, should we vote out Voce or should we vote out Tiffany? And like we saw ultimately with Shannon Ricard, that the group decided to say, okay, who are the people that are going to be in the alliance? And so I think that if Sammy was closest to Mariah and he ultimately is on the outs here, even if Gabler is a little bit of a loose cannon, I think that my prediction from this group might be that Sammy is going to be the person to go home out of Baka, even though I think that they could use his strength in the challenge. Speaking of the challenge, let's also take a look at what challenge the survivors are going to be competing in. Okay. We see the Survivor Facebook page has clips of the challenge. It is the famous, I always think of this one from the Edge of Extinction, the That's a Heavy Snake challenge, the snake in the water, and you ultimately have to drag it out. This is the challenge where it is very much based on strength. We also saw in the Edge of Extinction that the fact that Sammy, I'm sorry, not Sammy, that another young person, Keith, couldn't swim. That was a big deal in this challenge. So one of the things I also saw in the preview was that Gabler seemed like that he was hurt. It looked like he was maybe dealing with an injury. Sometimes when tribes get off on the wrong foot to start the game, it can kind of spiral. I wonder if this could be the case for Baka, and maybe they go on to lose this challenge. So my official prediction going into Wednesday night's episode is that Baka will go Baka Adabaka tribal councils. I'm sorry. And then I think that Sammy will be the second person voted out of the game. That's my official prediction coming into Wednesday night. And so that's maybe if you're a Sammy fan, you're like, okay, Sammy's never been safer if Rob is making him his prediction for the person who's going to go home. So that is what I'm thinking going into night number 2. All right. If you're watching us here on YouTube, would love to hear in the comments who you think is going to go home and why I am wrong. I think that this is I thought this was a lot of fun to get to do this, kind of just a quick hit to talk about what's going on. Of course, we'll have Survivor Know-It-Alls after the episode and all of the great Survivor podcasts all up at robhasawebsite.com. Make sure you subscribe. Click on that subscribe button. A lot of great stuff coming up with Amazing Race and maybe some Big Brother stuff too. Thank you so much for joining us for this one. Enjoy Survivor on Wednesday night. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.